A very good afternoon to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. So we will continue our sharing from this book, the Heart Sutra. Today is our third lesson. Third lesson, yeah. So we will be continuing our sharing from this book, the Heart Sutra. I forgot to let you know the date. Today is the 21st January 2024, Sunday class. So as usual, we will compose our mind, develop the faith, Saddha, Virya, and mindfully we shall commence the Puja chanting. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 阿弥陀佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 弥勒佛 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 普贤菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 地藏王菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨 Namo 佛菩萨อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสวากาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิTetiampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Tetiampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Tetiampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami Tetiampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami Tetiampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami Tatiampi sanghang saranang gacchami Panati pata viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Adina dana viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Kamesu miccacara Viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Musawada viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Surameraya majapamadatthana Viramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Sadhu Sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's pay respect to Puja. Buddhang Pujami. Dhammang Pujami. Sanghang Pujami. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe in their entirety, let the deities and Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddamang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti peso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vijacarana sampanno sugato lokavido Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanaiko Pajatang Veditabo Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yatidang Cattari Purisa Yogani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anutarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, you can be seated and just relax body and mind, maintain attention, then we continue. Right? Today we are at the second Heart Sutra class. This page 9 of the Heart Sutra book, our own Heart Sutra book. So the first part is usually a recapitulation and emphasis on the previous lesson which we have gone through. So after every Heart Sutra class, Sister Lee will make it a point to send me the short notes which she has prepared based on her whatever limited understanding at that time. Then I will go through it. Then I normally edit it because from the short notes or important pointer. It allows me to recollect or recall what I share. Then I can edit it very easily. That's why all these are the result of what we did at that time over a period of 15 months. So it turned out to be a beautiful Heart Sutra book basing on the commentaries given by Master Xuan Hua. Then when I share, I also give my understanding and explain where the difference are. So you want to follow, you will understand. Okay, now we will start off with 1.1. These are the 10 perfections or paramita of the Theravada tradition, where they actually develop the perfection of these 10 perfections or paramita in order to realize Samasa Buddhahood. And these paramitas or perfection, they are very extensive cultivation. That's why it is called a perfection. You have to perfect it until you fully comprehend what these parami are. So the first parami or perfection that is needed for cultivation and for having the good life is usually Dana Parami. Dana Parami, the meaning is any form of giving or generosity is classified as Dana Parami. Means when you offer something, you give something, or through generosity, you help out in something. The gift of life, the gift of love, the gift of truth, all these are Dana Parami. So when it comes to cultivating this, we need to start from ground zero. Assuming we doesn't understand anything, then we start. When we start to understand what the meaning of Dana is, when we know it's a type of generosity, a virtue that can be developed, means through helping people, through radiating love, giving life, or giving good advices, or monetary help, and all those possibility of dana offerings. And sometimes offering food to the monks, or offering house dana to host a function. All these are a form of generosity. Then when we generously donate or give to people who are in need or help people who are in need, it also constitutes Dana Parami. But as is commonly taught in the teaching, especially the Theravada tradition, there are 3 divisions of Dana Parami. The first one is the most common one. We call it materialistic giving. Means whatever generosity that you give, it may be the dana to people through food or through monetary wealth, or dana land for people to build their way place or Buddhist center of religious activity. Then it can also be in the form of any materialistic giving. So this is the first type of Dana Parami. So the gift of materialistic wealth which can include anything within society. Then there is a specific type of giving which the Buddha actually at that time thought was the gift of life, where you can help people to actually gain back their life. So the popularly accepted one are the donation of organ and all those things. Then donation of blood transplant, all those things, or organ transplant. Then any form of giving that can result in saving life. That's why they call it the gift of life. Then the third category of dana is most difficult to deliver because it constitutes the gift of truth. Means you must have the understanding of the teachings of the Buddha Dhamma that he has taught us. That you can share this is a form of giving to. The gift of Dhamma, they always say of the three, the gift of truth or Dhamma is the highest gift. Because when you have this ability to share the true Buddha Dhamma, when you can really deliver it well, and it can touch the heart of living being and awaken living being or cultivator of the way, that itself is not only meritorious, is in fact a very wonderful generosity or dana parami, because through that, not only that being has the Dhamma, and because of that, he actually become a very unique enlightened being that has the understanding, the virtue, the wisdom and the parami to actually live life following the Dhamma way. So they are incapable of negativity, deceiving, cheating, killing, harming, all this no more. So the purification process actually take place because they have developed the understanding of the Dhamma and they have awakened. They are incapable of evil. All this can help transform our society, our world, but the numbers must be sufficient. So this gift of truth or Dhamma understanding is a very unique parami of the Dana parami. So to do that, you yourself must develop the cultivation, the awakening, the realization and the understanding, and then you can do. But there is another way. Before you become enlightened, you can also help do. So that one come in another form. That one means like fellow Kayanamitas, Dhamma friends. You can actually, through knowing somebody who really have the understanding and the Dhamma cultivation, then they hold certain type of Dhamma classes or retreat or whatever. Then via the word of mouth or helping out to assimilate this type of news to those who are interested or have the parami to attain and receive this understanding. There is also one way to perform that wholesomeness, the gift of truth. Although it's not directly from you, but you created the causes and conditions for people to receive the truth. Then the other way is you have the appropriate understanding, then you know which teacher or Dhamma master or guide who can really teach, then you help out in their transcript or recording or website or whatever, and you have to make offering for printing of their Dhamma book that are appropriately relevant and good. So these are the ways that we can actually also get to perform the third category of Dana Parami. We call it the gift of truth, the gift of Dhamma. Yeah. So that covers the first perfection. Okay, we go to the next one. The next one is Sila. So Sila is very important. Sila is morality. You need to cultivate or develop the perfection of this morality. So initially, like the Dhamma, you need to actually go through the phases of Dhamma to learn the teaching. So phase 1 is Pariyati, the learning of the Dhamma teaching. So learning can come about in many ways. In the olden days, it's only through hearing the discourse of the Buddha as proclaimed by him or delivered by him, or you have to hear it from somebody else who have heard it from him, who may also have the understanding. Like in the time of the Buddha, he has Ananda, his attendant, and he has very good memory. That's why whatever that is been proclaimed by the Buddha, he can recite it and repeat it. So Sila, when you want to learn it, is also the same. You have to find out what are Sila. How does this parami come about? Why must we keep our morality or keep our precepts? So generally, Sila is translated as morality or precepts, because precepts are very important to protect us from evil. So in order to avoid all evil, the Buddha, through his wisdom and understanding, introduced this moral code, or what he called moral values. He introduced as precept. To the monk, they call it patimokkha. So precepts, the basic minimum 5 precepts for lay people, is to help cultivator the way, to help them from creating unnecessary evil. Because once you break your precept, it constitutes major evil. And to understand that, very easy. You reflect on the 5 precepts one by one. Then you ask yourself, who will break this precept or violate this precept? Then you will be able to identify each and every of these precepts. People who will violate them or break them are either evil people, selfish people, or deluded people. Sometimes all 3. And these 3 are the evil roots, root of all evil. That's why the Buddha called it greed, hatred, and delusion. So under the teaching, the 3 evil roots, the Buddha described it very well. The Pali words are lobha, dosa, and moha. So these 3 words, dosa is actually a Sanskrit word, but our Malay word also same. Dosa means sin. dosa. But in the Pali term is a negative connotation, means ill will, hatred, envy, jealousy. All these are part of dosa, a negative mind state. Even a violent person, aggressive person, selfish person. So all these are the evil roots of dosa. But moha is delusion. So the main thing actually comes from delusion. Self-delusion, the Buddha said. When you have self-delusion, you believe you are real, you exist, the form and mind is you, then that self-delusion, believing that you exist, you are a permanent, unchanging entity that can own things, have things, possess things, and develop all the emotion and all those things. And that itself is sakkaya-ditthi, self-delusion. So when you have self-delusion, it creates the personality, or what we call the ego. So when you have the ego, what happens? You tend to develop selfishness, isn't it? That's why lobha, the first evil root, is selfishness, or they call it greed. The evil roots of greed. So all the related one, possessiveness, your grasping, clinging, attachment, holding on to things, even deceitfulness, cunningness, they are part of the evil roots of greed, lobha. So sakkaya-ditthi, self-delusion, created the ego that grabs, cling, hold, and attach. That's how greediness, selfishness, possessiveness, aggressiveness, all this come into being. So these evil roots of greed, hatred, of course, together with delusion, they constitute evil. If you have them, it will make you evil. That's why it's the root of all evil. So now we look at the precept. We take, for example, the first precept. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. What is the meaning? The Buddha used the word precisely and very accurately. He said, we undertake the training rule to abstain from killing or causing harm to fellow living beings. So now we inquire, who will do this? Who will kill or cause harm to fellow living beings? It's very obvious, isn't it? Out of selfishness, they kill. It's a selfish people with motive. Sometimes because of benefits, advantage, or enmity, they kill. Sometimes because they are violent, aggressive, they kill. So the evil roots of greed and hatred are there. And they do that is because of sakkaya-ditthi, self-delusion. They think they exist. Therefore they separate from the rest. When there is this separation, there is this ego or personality that wants to develop the greed and the hatred to own things, possess things, have things, and become violent when they are in the position of authority. So from here you will see people who violate the first precept has the three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. That's why when you kill or cause harm to fellow living, it's a major evil. That itself can trigger major karmic consequence. Because you kill, you harm. you deceive and do all those funny things. So karma means you reap what you sow. Do good because good, do evil because evil. The law of karma, moral causation. This is a nature's law. Dependent on condition it arises because you created this evil karmic. That you will be recorded in nature. Then when there is condition, for it to condition your karmic suffering or misery, means like for you to get into trouble or entanglement. And the result is normally you will be killed or harmed, or you have to go through a lot of affliction, suffering, misery, depending on the severeness of the action you have committed, or you kill, harm, and do all those things. Yeah. So all this is reflected in the teaching. Okay? So Dana Parami, you like it or not, you have to maintain it. It will protect you. Oh, sorry. Now we are at Sila Parami already. Yeah? So likewise, the first one, Dana Parami, also, you can do it. It will give you a lot of wholesomeness. Whatever you give, actually, I miss out this part, I add it back now. Whatever you give, according to the natural law, or nature's law of karma, you reap what you sow in it. Every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So the moral causation also same. You plant the seed of evil, you reap the fruit of evil. You plant the seed of wholesomeness, you reap the fruit of wholesomeness. So when you give, it means karmically you are building up your Dana Parami, and you will receive back in a similar way a lot of this offering or generosity that you have performed, where you reap what you sow. That's why a lot of those people who do a lot of Dana Parami, when they come, they are born very wealthy. Or after they are born, they work towards it. Somehow, that Dana Parami will bring them wealth and a lot of other things. You look at Ananda Pindika during the Buddha's time. Then now also you can see our world. You have Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and a lot of these wealthy people. They are also, in a way, very generous. Then even our local one, you can see a lot of them are philanthropy, very generous. Okay, then we go on to the Sila Parami. Sila Parami we have covered most of it. So now you know, if you keep Sila, is to protect you from falling, entangling your life. If you keep your Sila, morality well, you will be well protected, where you reap what you sow. So if you don't kill, you don't harm, there is no karmic condition for you to be killed or harmed. Similarly, if you don't deceive, cheat or steal or take things that doesn't belong to you, similarly, all this wholesomeness will come to you. It will not happen to you, all this negativity of morality. So even the third precept, they call it sexual misconduct. So if you don't do this to your spouse or violate this precept, you will not have a situation where your spouse will also do the same thing to you. So all these are reflected in the nature's law. Then the fourth precept, as we all know, Musavada. Don't tell lie, abstain from telling lie, or arising the wrong speech, which are harsh speech, backbiting, lying, or frivolous speech. All these are negativity or speech which are not conducive for wholesomeness, for cultivation. These are not part of the Noble Eightfold Path quality. They are the opposite. That's why in the teaching, the Buddha always teach these three things: Dana, Sila, Bhavana. So dana is for you to have your good dana parami, so that your life will have enough of this dana parami to support you, so that you will not born poverty, you will not live a life of poverty and all those things. You will live a life of abundance because of your generosity parami, dana parami. There are a lot of things that you need in life. They will be there for you. Then because you keep your sila, it protects you from being harmed and entangling yourself with all this coming negativity. But you still need the third one, bhavana. Bhavana is meditative. They call it meditative wisdom. You have to meditate to realize the wisdom. And that's how enlightenment in the here and now become possible. So under this bhavana, they subdivide into samadhi and panya. Samadhi is basically the collectedness of mind and the unwavering mind, born of stabilizing that state, the true mind. So when you have this samadhi power factor, which is mainly sati leading to samadhi, then with these two, your mind state becomes different. You can see things as they are. You can insight into phenomena and awaken. You can completely silence your mind to observe, to develop the understanding. That's how the final spiritual faculty of panya come to be, wisdom. So once there is wisdom, then you know how to live life, you understand life, then you can live the third phase of Dhamma, Pativeda, the life of enlightenment. So the first two perfection is always dana and sila. And panya is actually the fourth one. But before panya, which is wisdom parami, they also have a third one. They call it nikkama. This perfection is not easy. And do not underestimate this perfection. But nikkama is literally translated as renunciation. But you have to be careful. Here, the parami or perfection of nikkama is not just to renounce as a monk. Of course, there is also one of the meaning within that word renunciation, nikkama. Here, the perfection means you can renounce everything. Because when you truly understand the Supreme Vehicle teaching, you will understand the hallmark of Huineng, which teach the Dhamma of no mark. No mark of a self, no mark of others, no mark of life existence. Means all these are unreal, not what you think. If you grasp, you cling, you hold, you suffer. You get yourself entangled, afflicted. So this nikkama parami or renunciation is your wisdom must be there to enable you to renounce everything. That's why in the final ultimate perfection of that parami, the Buddha had to renounce even his own wife and children as the final test. And that perfection is not easy. That's why when I share with you all the Bodhisattva way, the supreme vehicle teaching. In fact, in the Blue Book I mentioned our 4 basic vows of the Bodhisattva. When you determine through sincerity, faith, understanding to go this way, to cultivate the Bodhisattva way, we actually have to start off with that planting of the Bodhi mind to go this way by taking the 4 basic vows of a Bodhisattva. So that 4 basic vows is actually linked to the perfection. The first one is our nature vow to liberate the limitless living being or suffering being within the entire existence. So that one is to cultivate love and compassion. Otherwise we cannot have that vow. So out of love and compassion, we vow to take across all living beings to the other shore, to realize Nibbana. So that love and compassion is needed for us to come back to the existential world through the law of karma. Because the law of karma actually needs 3 things. First, there must be this karmic nature. So the karmic nature has to be there for it to generate what we call a vehicle and a tool for us to come. So that one, because we have taken birth and we have gone through samsara for so long, so definitely every living being will have that karmic nature. But then you need a mind to come, and this mind can be 2 types. The first type is through ignorance, before you become enlightened. So normal being, after they die, because they are not enlightened, there will be avijja, ignorant. So that mind will be the inheritance of that rebirth. So that way is the normal way of rebirth. Means through the law of karma, you got no decision, you got no choice. You have to come. Your karma take you and spin you through samsara. So the karmic nature, because it is there, through that karmic process, it creates the form and mind according to your karma. Then that deluded mind that is being conditioned will take birth based on those conditions. And that is one of the ways. But for Bodhisattva, because this cultivation is repeated birth and death, but before you actually can complete the whole cultivation of the Bodhisattva way, which takes so long, you have to develop the wisdom, the understanding, and the perfection in stages. It may take very long, sometimes eons and eons and eons. So what happens if the sainthood way is being realized? Because sainthood way is relatively easy, much more easy. So when you realize the sainthood way, even the Sotapanna, like the Buddha predict or said very clearly stated in the teaching, maximum 7 births in the sensual line. But once you hit Sakadagami, you become a once returner. You can only come back to the sensual line one more life. Then for Anagami, worse, non-returner. You cannot come back to a sensual line. Means you got only one more birth in the pure abode. Then after that you become Arahant. And when you become an Arahant, you cannot take the normal birth due to avijja or ignorance. That's why we need this first basic vow. That vow will condition you to have a pure mind, out of love and compassion for the living being. Connecting to this vow, the first basic vow. And that's how Bodhisattva has the ability to come back. Otherwise, they cannot come back. Because most of them, as they cultivate, they will realize arahantship and beyond long before they become Sammasambuddha. So because of that, we need to have this first basic vow. Then the second basic vow is tied to this third perfection, nikkama, or renunciation. This nikkama means you must be able to renounce all things, not only becoming a monk. Most people take renunciation as, I renounce the worldly life, I take up the spiritual life, and there is renunciation. Yes, not wrong, but one of it. But to be able to renounce everything that is unreal is the real wisdom, the final perfection of it. That's why the Buddha, in his last perfection of that parami, he was tested, and he has to renounce his wife, his children, his kingdom, his property, everything. That's why if you look at the second basic vow of the Bodhisattva, you will understand. The second basic vow of the Bodhisattva is this nature of ours vow to endure and severe all suffering. How can you do that? If you don't have the parami of renunciation, which is nikkama, how can you endure and severe all suffering? And the cause of arising of suffering, as made known by the Buddha, is very clear then. It's craving. Craving born of Sakkaya Ditthi, self-delusion. That condition, attachment, clinging, grasping, holding on to things. So from there, you realize if you cannot renounce, you will suffer because you will wanting your way. Even your body that goes the way of nature is not you, doesn't belong to you. Karmically conditioned out for us to come to this existential world. That's why in the yellow card, I want you to have that understanding life after life whenever you choose to come or you have to come. That will prevent you from developing the Sakkaya Ditthi to entangle yourself. So this parami of renunciation, nikkama, is for you to develop this understanding. And when you can renounce all things, means you don't have problem in this world. Because whatever happens, the world is the world. Condition like that, things will be like that. So people are just the way they are. Means selfish people do selfish things, deluded people do deluded things. Violent people, angry people, selfish people, they do selfish things, violent things, and angry things. So all this are the understanding behind. So when you understand, you will not be deluded by the word, my loved one, my wealth, my possession, my all this materialistic thing or whatever reputation that you think you own, you possess. Like the famous Dhammapada saying that the Buddha mentioned. He told the monk at that time, he said, my wealth, my property, my loved one, these only the fools, the foolish one, lament, he said. They worry about it, they lament. For that very body also don't belong to him. Then wherein wealth, wherein son, wherein loved one and all those things. empty nature, non-self, not a permanent unchanging entity, no mark of this and that. And that is how you perfect yourself. When you realize no mark, you can renounce all things. It's not what you think. No mark of a self is the first realization. To realize even the first stage of sainthood, Sotapanna. Then by direct inference you will know, if you don't exist, how can others exist? That's why no mark of others. But the most difficult one is the third one. No mark of life, existence, Dhamma, everything. If you hold on to any of it, it's like a mark that you hold on to. Where you created that mark, you give meaning. That's why the word from Heart Sutra is very powerful. In true emptiness, when you have penetrated true emptiness, everything is not what you think. 真空妙有 means true emptiness is wonderful existence. The meaning is you will not attach, you will not cling, you will not grasp. You can renounce all things, but they are not real, empty, not what you think. And those who have the wisdom and the understanding, they will know. Like we always share the Mayana famous saying, 来也空，去也空，那么施主何必苦苦为空流泪呢? Means the English translation is, when we come into this world, when we are born into this world, we didn't bring along anything. That's why 来也空. Then when you pass away, when you die, can you take away anything? Bring along anything? You can't. You come empty, you go empty. Then why do you in between grieve over emptiness? That is the delusion. So all these are the understanding. Okay? So we finished the third one already, the renunciation parami. So when you can renounce, means you can endure and severe all affliction, because you understand, not real, not what they are, no meaning. He know you, he know me. Everything is just dependent, originating, condition, arising, causal phenomena. That's why the famous Diamond Sutta, they always recite that fourth stanza in Mandarin. 一切有为法，如梦幻泡影，如露亦如电，应作如是观。一切有为法 means everything within the conditioned world are conditioned Dhamma, dependent, originating, condition, arising, causal phenomena, no reality, not a permanent and changing entity. Then the second stanza says, 如梦幻泡影. Mong is dreamlike, Huan is illusion, Pao is bubble, like feeling, pop gone, pop gone. Then like shadow, appear real, but is actually shadow, reflection. But that shadow follow you like the law of karma. If you violate the moral precept, suffering will follow you. Like they use the wheel of the block cart that follow the hood of the cart. Whereas the other Dhammapada verse 2 is happiness. If you act, speak and think with a wholesome mind that is free of the evil roots of greed, hatred and delusion, then happiness will follow you like your shadow that never leaves you. So all these are very beautiful Dhammapada verses that cultivate all the way will appreciate and develop the understanding. So all this, hopefully, with the explanation, you can develop understanding of it. Then the third stanza is 如露 一如电 is like a morning dew and a lightning flash. It defeats, impermanent, doesn't last. Lightning flash, very fast. That's why I say, moment to moment life passes by. What are you doing? Split second, that moment is gone. Split second, the moment is, and there is the highest in life. How real can it be? And the morning dew, how long can it last? When the sun rises, it's gone. That's why not so real, not what you think. Then the last stanza, 应作如是观. This is how you should contemplate it. This is how you should develop the understanding of it. So all these verses, they are related. They are actually connected to the whole teaching. That's why it is considered as the highest within the Dhamma Sutra teaching. When you can understand that 4 stanza, then you understand true emptiness. Everything is not what you think. Okay, then now the 4th parami is Panya. Panya, wisdom, is also one of the parami or perfection. And wisdom you have to cultivate. Like the Buddha taught the 3 types of wisdom: first turning, second turning of the Four Noble Truths, and the third turning. So the first turning is through hearing, Suttamaya Panya, wisdom born of hearing the discourse. Now we can include reading through the internet or video or whatever. Then the second turning is through constant reflection, contemplation, and inquiry. Nowadays you can include Dhamma discussion, workshop, or seminars to discuss this teaching, so that you can stabilize your understanding, so that you can receive the understanding through either listening or reflection, contemplation, to stabilize the understanding. Then the third turning is Bhavanamaya Panya, wisdom born of Bhavana, the meditative training, means mainly mindfulness, awareness, sati, awareness based, no more thought based. So all these are the 3 types of wisdom that you can develop and perfect yourself. Then the next parami is virya. Virya, or spiritual zeal, spiritual tenacity to go this way, means when you have the wisdom and the understanding and you see the importance of this teaching, then you develop the virya. You cultivate it until it becomes unshakable. Then it becomes a parami. Then sometimes when you lack energy, spiritual zeal, tenacity to go this way, that's how you keep up with perseverance. The quality of perseverance is very important. Like that Thursday class, I think Inbi gave an example. At that time he said, wherever you fall, that is where you should stand up and keep on working on it or move. Then I remember I was in the uni, because after the class, at first I want to share that one, but I cannot recall. It was in the uni day, 1975. When I was in the uni, I joined the Buddhist Society, and I think they printed this. Then later on, I recall that saying that actually motivated me, and I like that saying a lot. That saying says, when the going is tough, the tough gets going. You heard of this before? Anybody heard of this before? Anybody? You can
yes,
just.
Matthew. Yes, I heard that before.
Anybody else?
My guidance also, that phrase.
That one helped me a lot when I was in the uni, because I like that phrase. Well, I'm that type. When the going get tough, I never give up on no. No. The tough keep on, get going. So this is something you all can also develop as wisdom. And this is what perseverance is. And when you persevere, you need virya. No? You need the spiritual zeal. No? The spiritual tenacity, because you see the beauty of it, the importance of it. That's why I will work towards it. That's why after 1971, when I saw the Four Noble Truths, I actually knew that's it. No more turning back. No need to search anymore. I said nobody can summarize all of his understanding into just Four Noble Truths like that. But then later on I realized it was my past cultivation and paramita. Because the moment I saw the Four Noble Truths, I don't need anybody to explain to me, to teach me anything. Straight away I knew that is the secret of life. Both mundane and supramundane. And everything about life and beyond is all inside there. I said, 2,600 over years ago at that time, who can come out with it? He must be the real one. Otherwise, he cannot come out with it. That's why after that, I said, no need to search already. Whatever religion people come and talk to me, I no need to go and go and think about it, or go and reflect on it, or contemplate, or go and find out. No more search. But when I was studying, when I was young that time, after Form 4, I think, end of Form 4, the search began. I was looking at the sky, night sky. Then I saw the star up there. Then I asked myself, who am I? What am I? What am I doing here? Very strange that time. I was Form 4 So because of that, suddenly inside my heart there, pop, the message come out now. You must meditate. That time I don't even know the Dhamma, what meditation is also, I don't know. But straight away I'm very convinced of, I must meditate. That's why after that the book come. After that I think in lower 6 the book came, 1973 or 72, I forgot already, the book came. Then after that I got no more doubt. Then the first day I went into MU, I met the Chief Reverend Kesri Dhammananda, who was the author of the book. And that was like meant to be. After that I went back. The first night I came to the first college residential hostel, I meditated, middle of the night, 12 a.m. after my roommate sleep. Then I thought I was doing it for half an hour, but I looked at my watch. It was already 4 a.m. Which means I have been sitting there for 4 hours. And that is the first time I meditate. I don't know what meditation is, but I felt the joy, the bliss, the peace, the tranquility, the stillness. I actually went into the first formless rhyme, infinite space. My mind went in. And then after that, the rest is history. I became what I am. So all these are just beautiful understanding and sharing. Okay, we go to the 10 paramita again. I will continue from there. So virya, like I said, when you see the importance of the teaching and you see the beauty of who the Buddha is, like I explained before, when I read the Four Noble Truths, I knew what it is. Then I knew the Buddha is the real one, the wisest and the most virtuous being ever to be born. So to have him as your teacher and guide, you will go all out, because he is the wisest and the most virtuous. So the gratitude, the faith become very strong That's why that one drive me. That's why I know from the spiritual faculty of Saddha, faith, it will drive you to develop this virya. And this virya is not an effort, no, it's a zeal, a spiritual zeal or spiritual tenacity, very strong energy, spiritual will to go this way, to cultivate. That's why it will overcome your sleepiness, or what they call sloth and torpor. And that one will keep you going, the virya. That is what perseverance is. Yeah. That's why all this sharing will be very meaningful when you understand. Then after that, the next parami is also very important. Khanti. Khanti is a Pali word. Its true meaning is patient endurance with wisdom. When you can patiently endure with wisdom, that is true Khanti. But if you endure via suppression, because you believe through knowledge that this is wrong, like anger is no good, all the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion are major evil, no good. So you don't want them to arise. So what you do? You suppress them. And the Cantonese got a very good word to express that. It's a yan, also meaning patient, but that one is suppression, means they suppress their anger, they suppress their unhappiness, that's why the Cantonese version of yana is not Khanti. Khanti is patient, endurance with wisdom. That one, yana, means you develop the patience, not to react and not to go against because you think it's bad, through knowledge. And that one is not really virya. Khanti. The real meaning of Khanti is patient endurance with wisdom. You can become patient. You can endure whatever things that arise, circumstances or whatever condition. But through wisdom, not to suppress or to control. Like cultivator of the way, sometimes through delusion, in fact a lot through delusion, when they reach a stage, they thought they have progressed, they have done well, and some believe they have realized some form of enlightenment, sainthood or what, maybe Sotapan, Sakadagami, or Anagami, or some even believe they are Arahant. I mean, there are people who have realized it, but some may not. And because of that, they believe that they have. And these are the people who will get themselves entangled with this. Because they believe if they are enlightened, especially if they have progressed beyond the Sotapanna shape to Anagami shape or Arahant shape, they know sensual desire and you will no more rooted out, but they still get angry. They still have fear. Then they realize something is not right, wrong. That's why they try to live like an enlightened one. So what they do? They suppress their anger. They try not to show, their fear and all. But deep inside your mind state, you cannot lie to yourself. Because these are reality that will manifest from your mundane mind. Without wisdom, you cannot. So all these are what we call important understanding. Khanti or patience need wisdom. So when you can endure with wisdom, then it's not a suppression. You understand straight away. Like when anger arises, you know it's condition arising, dependent originating. That's why how can it be you? Anger and fear arise and pass away, you didn't die. How can anger be you? How can fear be you? So do not be deluded by the mind state that arise through wrong view. Sakaya Ditti. Means all the Sankhara, mind state, activity, through your thinking. There's a wrong thought, condition, fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow and lamentation. And all these mind states are not real. They are dependent originating condition arising non-intrinsic within your true mind or true nature. So why do you deludedly grasp, cling and hold and give meaning? All this become very clear, very easy to comprehend. If you are mindful, heedful, cultivator of the way, you see all this very clearly. That's why you will not end up doing the type of patient which is to suppress and control and not to allow it to manifest. No. Nature is nature. Condition like that, things will be like that. That's why without wisdom, you cannot free your mind. You will be afflicted. You will be caught. You will be entangled. So all these are the understanding. Then the next perfection is Satya. Satya is very important. Satya means truthfulness or truth. Truthfulness. So when we cultivate this parami or Satya, in fact, out of the 10 perfections, the Buddha actually did this Satya to real perfection. So according to the sutta, I remember, he did this to the highest. That's why his words are very powerful. He always invoked power of truth, like in the chanting that Ingbi used to chant, Pali chanting. By the power of this truth, may what and what arise. Even Angulimala, that one also, he taught Angulimala by the power of this truth. Ever since becoming a monk renunciation, he has never violated the 5 precepts or the monk's precept. Then it will trigger off through the nature's law the potential spiritual ability or power to turn things around. May the birth be normal, natural, peaceful, and no life is threatened. May there be means mother and the fetus or the newborn baby, may they be safe, well and healthy. So all these are possible when you know how to invoke power of merits, power of truth. So power of truth is also very powerful, the Satya Parami. When you can keep to that, your moral value, morality will be very, very exceptional, amazingly different. So Satya, the perfection of truth or truthfulness, is also a very beautiful parami, very important. Okay. Then the next one, this one I like the most, Aditthana. Aditthana means the making of aspiration or affirmation or strong resolution. You resolve to go this way, or you make vow, aspiration, affirmation to go this way. So this parami aditthana, my nature has actually developed it very well. And I know how to use this one even this life before I even know the Dhamma. I know how to invoke this one. I know how to understand how it operates. Like I shared with you all before. Last time when I was young, I saw my mother has a lot of faith in Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. And every time I go with her to all the temple, the deity, I cannot pay respect on earth, but when it comes to Kuan Yin, the Buddha and the 4 great beings, naturally I will pay respect on. Then one day I was reflecting and contemplating on the great virtue of Kuan Yin because I saw my mother did that, and I also have faith in Kuan Yin. Then suddenly the understanding came. I said, Kuan Yin cannot be everywhere when people seek his help or whatever. Then suddenly inside my nature came out with the understanding of, because of his greatness, his perfection, his parami, it has become like part of nature's law. So when they can invoke this aditana until it enters the nature's law, it will manifest by itself. Means that nature, like Kuan Yin's nature, even myself, my cultivation, I always say, may this nature of mine, we have a nature. This is our spiritual nature. And that spiritual nature is not a being. Please don't get it wrong, like the karmic nature. It's not a being. It cannot come and live. But it is a very, very amazing nature up there. And that nature depends on the cultivation of those who have developed it. Can be very amazingly beautiful, powerful. So you can develop the aditana until it becomes part of nature's law. That's why I taught you all under the yellow card a few things. You must always seek the great being's blessing, protection, and guidance. Because their nature is everywhere in the midst of life and nature. And like I always share with you all, their nature is always radiating, helping for the cultivator of the way. If you are the real cultivator, the Dhamma protector will protect you. All these great beings' nature that has affinity with you, they will actually not only protect you, guide you, bless you, and do all those things that you can invoke through your aditana. That's why in the yellow card, I taught you all how to cultivate affinity with all these Sammasambuddha and great beings. So develop affinity with Triple Gem, with all the cultivators of the way. Then you will progress well. You will do well in your cultivation. Okay? Then the next one is metta. So loving kindness. Excuse me. Loving kindness or metta bhavana is a very important mind state too. When there is love, your heart opens up, becomes very different. I remember in the early years, in my uni day, first year, I did a lot of metta. Then I continued for quite a while. Until my metta become very strong, very, very strong. Then, of course, after 1989 onward, after I developed the understanding of this thing, then I just let things be, because different time you come, you do different things. And a lot of this is for you to see, to develop the understanding. Then as you develop the progress and the understanding, you become different. You become different. Then you no longer go back to the old way. That's why my advice to cultivator of the way is whatever that arises or happen is part of your cultivation, part of the way. Do not go and analyze or there is another word, what is it? Do not go and analyze and what is the other word? Using thought on. Analysis and what? Never mind. I forgot the word.
So, your reasoning.
Reasoning. Very good. Sadhu. Thank you, Poh Cheng. Reasoning. Do not analyze and try to reason. No need. Because whatever arises, like the Buddha said, there are causes and conditions behind. Means part of the way. As long as you have these three things, You have the faith, sincerity, and you persevere. The way will be there. That's why just do. Don't try to know. Don't try to analyze or reason. That's why sometimes I forgot that word. Analysis and reasoning. Thank you, Poh Cheng. Okay, go back to the next one. So metta is in the Metta Sutta. How to develop it? You have the 10 directional, and you also have the what they call the usual normal metta or thing. You can get it from the book that I actually compiled based on the early days book that I received on Metta Bhavana. So if you are new, Metta Bhavana is a very good cultivation where it will make your mind composed, calm, full of love, and it will protect you. There are, I believe, stated in the Metta Sutta 10 or 11 benefits if you do Metta. And the benefits are very impressively beautiful. The last one is Upekkha. This Upekkha, equanimity of mind, is born of wisdom. So this one, without wisdom, you cannot cultivate. That's why it's the last of the 10 perfection. So you look at the order, you will understand why the Buddha actually put it in this order. Then, exactly like Noble Eightfold Path, the way the Buddha actually put the perfecter in that order is very precise, where he understood what they are. Like the Noble Eightfold Path, it's always start with right view. Without right view, everything collapses. So this 10 perfection was saying, without Dana Parami, your life miserable. Everything collapses. That's why most important is Dana Parami. After that is Sila Parami. Then cultivation. Cultivation means the third parami, renunciation, patient endurance. Renunciation first. When you can develop the ability to renounce all things, means you have the wisdom ready. That's why after renunciation, wisdom will follow. Otherwise, you cannot develop it. So, in fact, the wisdom parami and renunciation, they go hand in hand. When there is wisdom, you can renounce all things. Then, virya is a spiritual zeal, tenacity. So this virya is the one that actually motivates us to go the supreme vehicle way, the bodhisattva way. The initial virya is for the sainthood way. That one come early. Then as the virya pick up and stabilize until unshakable, it become ballast. Then the ballast is the one that the bodhisattva will develop and continue with their bodhisattva way cultivation. Then this patient endurance born of wisdom, you need to develop it. After you have the wisdom, you normally will not react ready. But patient endurance is a parami that you have to develop. I remember in the year 1989, before my nature awakened, I actually met up with many cultivators all the way, my teacher and cultivator all the way. No less than 6 of these monks and cultivators all the way. When I met them, they keep on telling me, patient. Kanti paramang sukhang. My teacher Ajahn also keep on telling me, must have patience. So this one, when you go through life, it is a real perfection, a parami. You can maintain patience, you become very different. But of course, later on, when your wisdom stabilizes, This parami is automatic, automatic. So unless there is condition, you will not say anything, you will not manifest anything, you just let things be. But sometimes because of causes and conditions, sometimes because they have made the request in their previous life or what, then when there is condition, then you try to help. But when there is no condition, you just keep quiet. Because condition like that, things will be like that. So this patient endurance, when you go through it, you will understand. Most people, before they have this ability to cultivate this patient endurance, they normally are affected by relationship. If it's their siblings or their close parent, loved one, or spouse or whatever, then they like have a lot of eagerness to help them, to like help them in whatever way, maybe whatever problem or even cultivation and all those things. But then, without that wisdom of patient endurance with Dhamma understanding, you actually find this cultivation very difficult. You keep on wanting to help, but no point on. When there is no condition, forget about it. That's why I remember during the early day, my son also told me, when I tried to help my father, he that time was very young. He said, "Daddy, no condition." Then I stopped after that. Because a lot of these things, when you see the delusion and all that, then you try to explain, but somehow it let you see, the condition is not there, Sometimes it's the flow of that Dhamma, not the normal way that can help people, It like cannot come out, Not to say I don't have the understanding. I have, but the condition is that it cannot come out. Then whatever you say also no use. Then you know already. No need to proceed further. Then there are a lot of other examples. But when there is condition, then maybe we will share it. Okay. Then the next one is aditana, satya, which I have already shared. Truth. Then aditana, I already shared. And metta. Metta also important. And upekkha. Okay, these are the 10 perfections. Then I go on a bit more. These are the 10 perfections that the Bodhisattva who is intent on cultivating the Bodhisattva way to realize Sama Sambuddhahood must cultivate and perfect them. Then the Mahayana, they shorten it to 6 perfection or paramita. Normally they focus on these 6 only. They are more interested in dana, sila, which is the same, kanti also the same, virya also the same. The only difference is panya also the same. They have this dayan. Here we actually translate as samadhi. But for them, the Mahayana, they believe this parami is meditative, very important to them. That's why they sometimes give a lot of emphasis on the jhana too. 四禅八定. Then also they have this various definition of the stages of Dhyan. So this one is a Sanskrit word actually. So they have in the Theravada tradition also, they have some of these words. like Nirodha Sahampati. It is a type of dhyan in the Mahayana tradition, like a type of samadhi which is very still. Yeah. Of course, the Theravada tradition one is more straightforward. They got the three types of samadhi. Kanika samadhi means moment to moment. Yeah. Then they have upachara samadhi. Upachara samadhi is assess concentration before you go into apana samadhi, absorption concentration. Yeah. So all these are the various type of dhyan that they use. Huh? Entrepreneurs? Never mind. My wife say got a pronunciation from Google. Dhyana.
Dhyana.
You can hear or not? What is the word? I always pronounce Dhyan. Maybe you know that word?
No, but that one is Sanskrit.
Sanskrit is not Theravada.
Yeah, it's not Pali.
But the Mandarin word is chanting. That's why chanting is actually samatha. 四禅八定, understand? All the jhana, everything. Then they even include the Nirodha Sahampati. So never mind, it's the way Mahayana actually put it. Because they want to go through all those type of cultivation so that they also develop chanting. That's why the word ting is actually samatha. Because it's 四禅八定 the jhanas. But the real samadhi is not a thing. The real samadhi is the mind become collected and unwavering, but it's a free mind, a free mind that is unshakable, means collected and unwavering or unshakable. So that type of mind is actually a free mind in stillness, in tranquility, and that is your true nature, your true mind. The first thing to come out, the awareness nature. Then when you realize Nibbana, the enlightenment, that one also cease. Not only the five pure form and mind cease, that pure awareness nature also cease. Then you will go into actually it's not a state at all. It's you go into that cessation. You completely cease. No mind state, nothing. You cannot talk about it. There is nothing. But you will start to understand what that source, that nature is once that thing come out. If you're not supposed to parinibbana yet, then that thing will come out again. So when the thing that come out again, the first thing to come out is this awareness nature. You can see. Then after that, that consciousness, how they actually split into three areas of consciousness. Like I explained in my latest book. You wait for the latest book. When it's out, you read through, you will understand. Okay, we have to end already. 4:30 is 5. Just nice. So we have finished the 10 perfection and the equivalent Mahayana's 6 perfection. The only difference is the dhyan, that cultivation there. So no need to try to find out and all things. Forget about it. Just understand that what they are cultivating are the meditative training. Actually, it's mainly sati and samadhi. Another is for power factor. The meditate, but they want to find out about the samatha. They will do all those. The reason being, if I'm not wrong, because they also have the teaching that talk about the 50 Divan Samadhi, Surangama Sutta. And because of that, once they have the understanding of the Surangama Sutta, it will protect them from deviating. Otherwise, you go and do that one, you'll go into energy field, psychic field, and all those things. So that is the only understanding that you all need to have. Okay, so we end. We stop at 1.2. Just relax, maintain awareness, then stabilize the awareness. Then the fourth support is trust. Okay, so you'll now continue with our second session. But before that, I saw a message. Oh, Poh Cheng wrote the message. Just now when I spoke that one, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Oh, there's a song by Billy Ocean. I didn't know. Oh, thank you, Poh Cheng. Then Amy, I can join Zoom later because I'm online with my daughter. Okay, no problem. Okay, thanks, Nando. Okay, so now we open up for second session, which is meditation reporting, followed by whatever question that you all may have, or we can discuss what we gone through this afternoon, which is mainly on the 10 perfection.
Hi, good afternoon, Brother Dio.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah.
我讲什么？
什么都可以啊。有什么要 share 要 discuss or any question?
Brother Dio, maybe 我 share 一个 experience on chanting 的啦。
可以啊。
last session 曼渊有讲到听 chanting 的嘛？
对对对。
是的，那其实我在Cameron Retreat 回来，我就想学那个楞严咒。然后我就想学那个楞严咒，然后我就开始我的 morning chanting with 这个楞严咒。但是每一次我拿起那个楞严咒那个经书来唱的时候，它是好像他就感觉你那本书很重，其实那本书是很薄的罢了。就是那个经书很薄的，但是你感觉到它，你拿着那个书看的时候，没有一下子你就觉得哇，为什么它这么重，一直向下垂，你就觉得
OK
然后你又把它提上来，然后你的眼睛又要盖下来，这样就是很给你一个感觉，你好像要坚持不下去这样子的感觉。
OK
然后我坚持了大概2个星期这样然后这天我就觉得不应该是这样，因为这个书是很轻的嘛，你知道它是很轻，但是你知道为什么你的眼睛一直要盖下来要睡觉，这样你就是能够坚持下去，然后你又把书再提上来又下去，又上来又下去，you know kind of like 你在 struggle 这样子，但是你忽略的啦，你忽略到这个事情。然后过了一阵子，因为我也很忙，然后我就没有继续再念。然后，但是我每一天起来的时候呢，我就把那个楞严咒的经播出来，就好像每次就在每次听禅定这样就听。
对，
然后听过了一阵子，我也没有正式的去学，因为也没有很多时间了哈。然后有一天当我做完我的 yoga。满身汗要休息的那一阵子，然后我就心想，就借着这个休息的机会来把那个经书拿出来看，去听，去看，去 try to chant，you know what I mean？ 我就 try。当我一开始 chant 的时候， 他的禅定是不一样了的。然后
哦，
到过了一段的时候，我发觉到我的禅定是从我的丹田出来的。
哇，好啊，沙豆
对
啊，
你听到的那个禅定是不是 directly from 你的耳朵这样的？
对对，
它是好像 like no from 的丹田，然后很 smooth，然后它是唱的很快，但是以我的这个什么，如果我这样用我的头脑去唱是唱不出来。
站不出来的，对，
对，那个 experience 很 amazing，它就是从
呀
单
呀呀，
一直出来，一直出来，一直出来，一直跟着那个唱，一直唱，然后我就很多的 joy inside，但
哦，
是我又
沙豆，
对我又 aware 到这个你任何的境界你都不可以去被 distract 到，然后我就是这
对
样，
对对
就
，relax into it 啊
对对，然
啊，
后就给我的 understanding 就是任何事情我们都要坚持，
对对
就是
对，
那个要坚持，就是
persevere 呀，
对，而且我在这个过程里面我也有 seek guidance 啦，因为我知道我不能唱，一定是有一点理由的，我不懂什么理由，但是我就跑去 ask guidance from 这些佛菩萨，我说让我学，但是让我慢慢的学，就是说我不能就我不知道怎样的去所以我是 ask for guidance，给我学啦，就是说给我机会慢慢的学这个，然后过了不久就这个 experience manifest 咯。所以就是我一个小小的一个experience，是给我知道做什么事情都要 persevere，要坚持的去做。
沙豆呀，
这个是我一个最近的一个小小的 experience，还有其他的呢，就是很多的 Sankara， 就我的东西很多东西做，因为
因为又要到你的孩子的那个 wedding 了啊，
对
一定
对
很忙的啦，很多东西啦，没
对，
事的。It's actually for you to understand because sometimes a lot of this Dhamma 的 manifestation 它也要有那些 condition behind 因缘法。So when you go through like preparing for your son's wedding and also year end, New Year, because all this activity when they are together 是 actually 不容易 for normal 的人处理的but because you had the Dhamma, you will be able to actually finally go through it. Then you will understand 比如那个 Sankara 的他会慢慢 when the understanding stabilize especially later on 如果 Monday mind 可以 collapse 就很好，那个就很快你就 understand the whole thing and become very different. But even 它不 collapse 你也可以慢慢去用你的 understanding to accept the reality of that movement. 你不要去管它，因为它是一个 natural 的 phenomena sometimes 是来 test 你的 so 因为你有 awareness when you have the ability to be aware then you know there are a lot of Sankara. So what you need to do is whenever you have the chance to relax into it and silent 你看它 take how long to actually settle down. Sometimes 它会来 test 你弄到你来有一些doubt then later on 你做什么都好像不对的就好像以前行现在不行 never mind one just let it manifest then 它自己会慢慢 settle down then when it settle down for the first time after this type of test 你就会明白 very different on your understanding then after that you realize when 那一段一过你的 meditation become very different again already then 那个时候没问题了的它怎样的 Sankara 也没问题了你一坐下去它就slowly 就 settle down then 静下来 Then later on, this Sankara all 好像停掉了，它会停掉了，停掉了，好像你整天都没有东西在那边了，Then the thinking is like there is no mind inside there ，Then like 跟以前不一样了，它不能够起来了，它不能够去做那个乱七八糟的部分了，So all these phases you will be able to go through 啦，So be patient 咯，Then just let things be
呀，就是的，因为其实某些时候他会especially 我一坐下去看经书，他就很quiet的，他就很quiet
That
了
one is good
很
因为
quiet
那个是你的前世修来的位actually 静下来because 你一有那个 condition to like the Dhamma，then 你看经书你会看到 like very absorbed into it so it will actually give rise to the effect like during the early years when I was cultivating 我很喜欢读经书的So whenever 有经书好的经书不是那些thought based那些好的经书我会看的。我看的时候I become very quiet very still then I can contemplate, I can reflect, then I can understand. There's a lot of joy which is very good. 如果你可以有那个 to help you So whenever you need to settle down or what 你去拿经书出来读咯
是的 ，radio actually 听 radio 的 talk 也很重要，因为一听了 radio 的 talk 它的 condition 就不一样了，因为就好像又带你进入另外一个
境界
对，所以听
他的 understanding 自己会 deepen 的，因为你听了那些佛法它是different dimension 的teaching来的，so 你有 faith 的时候你听的时候that vibration will go in then when the vibration go in sometimes the cultivator also doesn't know 就是好像你用心去听then like 刚才你 share 的那个禅定从丹田出来的 all this can happen 它会 manifest
是的，不然就哇 ，it's so amazing. I was like 这样可以。其实 radio 其实我们自己不用功的时候，我们自己也知道，因为有一天当我一包下去跟观世音包的时候一包下去那个心里面有一个 moment， 你一 move 好像你好像想哭出来 ，in the sense，你好像有点惭愧你好像已经懒惰了。
是。All this can manifest for you to see, to develop understanding 它会出来的。
所以不能 radio 真的还是要 diligent， 真的不能。
diligent， then 要 persevere 啦，不要 like become complacent 你一 complacent 你看到它会来拉你下坡very fast then 你要过了那一段的 test or training then only you will develop the understanding of the higher cultivation then after that 你又 become different again then 你的 cultivation as it progress a lot of things will happen on the way a lot of things will happen
Yeah, actually, radio 其实我这一个月的经历，我看到很多 suffering， 也是我自己本身的 suffering， 就好像
very good.
Tuesday
sadhu.
class 我在你家的那个肚子疼的那个
那一
experience，
阵子哦，
对我真的是感觉到哇，那种 suffering 哦，要去 endure 哦，如果没有 understanding 是不行了。
呀，不行的
你可能
不容
你
易的。
可能会害怕到你恐怕要去医院
对
了。
对，就好像那天硬币有时候是嘛，他到他的喉咙的时候啊，but 你有了 Dhamma 又不一样了哦，你又懂得怎样去confront it，then patient endurance with understanding 你懂了哦，then 他不会怎样影响你的，then 你该做就做咯，then 你就知道。normal 的人不能够 endure 的，因为他真的 like what is explained in the first noble truth reality 这是苦如因之you have to understand it one then when you go through understand it become very different then 他的 understanding 就是会 slowly 让你了解那个三转法轮especially second turning 是这么奥妙的That's why without going through life without going through real life 的那个condition to see and understand all this 你真的学不到的这个 second turning. Second turning, the noble truth of dukkha is to be understood 你也要经过的才能够了解的。That's why when I was cultivating it in the early years 89 I was trying to develop the understanding and all those things but 不容易although 你了解 what this thing is but 你没有遇过那个 life and death 的还是 very severe 的那个like bodily disease or sickness or pain or whatever 你不能够了解的 but when you go through that time very beautiful I remember after 89 when I have the understanding then there were conditions for it to arise so whenever there is condition for it to arise I will develop the contemplative second turning wisdom then I really enjoy it that time I have the joy of going through it 原来是这样的then the Dhamma that arise unfold become very different then the meaning of the second turning is very beautiful and like the Buddha said this noble truth of dukkha is to be understood 这是苦如因之your form and mind really experience it then with the full awareness then you understand that's why after that 我就可以 share we as a living being the form and mind is like 一个 karmic process 来的它一现出来since birth until now it's like the consciousness trapped inside with the physical body and the senses it is like a vehicle and tool that can manifest causes and conditions for karma to unfold that's why when it unfolds those who have to go through they have to go through and then you don't have the Dhamma to endure and to go through to develop then you have to pay back on the coming process so the paying back that suffering the misery you will know what normal people without the Dhamma 不能够 endure they become miserable 很惨的可是最近我也听到有几个大家跟我讲的是一样that life is really full of suffering 你能够有那个 sensitivity to actually feel all those things means 你慢慢理解这个 noble truth of dukkha 了then as you go through it become very different 那个时候 I remember 1996年when I went through the operation 那个我的 那个 buttock 的 fistula， 我的不是 pulse， 它是 related to pulse， but 它里面发炎啊，那个 fistula they call fistula， 它是 like I think the anus there 它有很多那个精神线啊 according to the doctor. Then because last time when I was young, I didn't know that we need to clean that part. Actually that part a lot of germ one according to the doctor. Then a lot of people actually get into trouble. Then only after, I think after 那一年呢，after 我的 operation 了 then the doctor explained to me 要洗什么then 我才了解咯。Then I started to do the washing 咯。So every time when I pass motion or what 我一定洗用手来洗2次Then after that 到目前almost 28 years 了，好没事。That's why a lot of this thing need understanding the hygiene and all that. But that type of pain the fistula 那个出来的 like I explained last time， 它是很痛的，因为它是发炎到那个 bus BUS 那个奶它 actually 拱在里面then 它 become very sensitive on the skin 很痛的 normal 的人不能够忍then the doctor normally they will do the I&D I&D after 你 drain 了你就 feel a lot better but 他过了几天他又回来了不停的 that's why that surgeon 后来跟我讲 he don't do this I&D incision and drain 因为暂时的 he will only do if you agree to the operation Then 我说没事你做啦 So after 他做了我记得 4-5 days later I need to fly to US with my family And I can still fly because after that to endure the recovery is very easy like nothing But 那一段的 experience when I went through that thing that was really beautiful That's why then like you got two choices grasp onto it, cling onto it and become miserable and go and complain over it The other one is to endure patiently endure and need to seek medical attention Then 要等before medical attention 到 before they can do anything 要等Then because of good karma also 因为 my classmate is a GP opposite 我的家不了嘛 Then 我过去找他了he said 这个 I recommend you one very good surgeon he is the best for doing that part he said So 他就介绍给我叫我 next day 去找他了 That's how I went and see him Then after that the following day after I see him I got the operation done which is quite actually amazing at that time 96年28年了So far so good 好，不幸回来了
阿弥陀佛
Yeah,
Brother
Amin Tova.
and Kayamitas. No,
Yeah.
but if the sister Alicia got more to say, she can continue lah. Yeah.
No, Sister Poh Cheng, go ahead because my throat is bad too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Brother, for the advice.
No problem, Sadhu.
Yeah. This is a very nice, interesting sharing by Sister Alicia.
Yeah.
You also can learn from one another,
Yeah.
because everybody
In fact,
experience
a lot of this sharing can actually benefit the Kayamita because different people sharing once you listen you will get different understanding of how people cultivate and how people develop the understanding. So by means of all this sharing, you become like a much more complete and evolved cultivator, no? Because all this will add up to your understanding one. That's why it is a lot faster to learn via this type of sharing. Even in the retreat or what, I like people to report and do the sharing. That's why you look at the Heart Sutra book, all the Q&A were very good one. Very good one. And that is where you can learn a lot of things. And different people approach it, cultivate it differently, experience things differently. Then when they share all those causes and conditions behind, when you have the understanding, you will rejoice on. Then you will like sometimes develop the motivation, then develop the rejoicing, then develop the understanding. Then from there, it will actually let you develop a very much broader understanding of what cultivation is. Then 很多东西 a lot of things that people have not heard of before, how actually cultivation can be connected to a lot of things, like the great beings, nature, and all those things, which people haven't heard of. Then like how amazing or marvelous or wonderful understanding can unfold and manifest. Then like what we share, we think people may think it's fairy tale or what, but actually what actually happened is a lot more beautiful than what people could perceive. So at times I use the example, fairy tale also may not manifest in such manner. This is more fantastic than fairy tale. 就它现出来的时候 when it manifests, you really amazed on wow. At first you think it's fairy tale, but it's nothing to do with fairy tale. The Dhamma is like that one. When you are on this cultivation, this journey, you will encounter this type of being with this type of understanding. Then when you encounter them, the way they share with you all things, different type of being, different type of great beings nature, they come and they manifest in different ways to teach you, to support you, to guide you, to bless you, and to do all those for the sake of all cultivators and all those things. That's why I say their nature is ever radiating for the cultivator of the way. And all this, you can witness it and like they are everywhere when you have the ability to detect them and come across all those manifestations. So not only during the Dhamma sharing, where the phenomena and all those things, then how the Dhamma unfold. And most of the time it's on spiritual trip. On spiritual trip also a lot of things happen. That's why I got a feeling this Utai San trip also something will happen over there. I have a sense that it's meant to be the trip. Then people who are supposed to go, they will come. So all this, just let it unfold. Yeah, Poh Cheng, sorry, you continue.
Yeah. Firstly, relative about that song first. The song actually I don't know the lyrics, but I only know this title of the song, relative. Because
you heard of it before?
Yes, I heard of it before, but I don't know the entire lyrics. But that song, the meaning is very good in the sense that
very good.
it gives you a lot
When
of
I was in the
motivation.
first year, I received from the Buddhist Society is a printed thing with a lot of this encouraging message. Then I saw this one, immediately it had an impact on me. That's why I like that face. Because I know my nature is like that, my character is like that. When the going get tough, not only I don't give up, I will continue and determine through the understanding to continue to work on it. That's why I like when the going get tough, the tough get going. Oh, that is a very strong, what they call virya, that move. So all this is from the past one. That's why when I read that one, it struck me on, really struck me on. Because I can relate to my nature, my character, and how I do things. When I work on something that I know is important, I will do it very well, and I will continue to persevere and do. But somehow this life is like very blessed, very lucky. Then whatever I do, everything sun. I don't have to go through obstacle and all those things. Although I like that verse, but I have never confronted a real life situation where I have to like strive like that on. Then inside also tell me like all this you have done before, long time ago. That's why when I read such Dhamma or word of wisdom, that nature straight away attracted to it, and then that nature will know this is what my nature is capable of. But this life I really, a lot of people who know me they know I very lucky. Even study or whatever, everything like fall into place in my life. Like meant to be, everything come by itself. Like I explained, technically I didn't do anything. My nature just accord and flow. Everything sun. May it be Dhamma cultivation, life, academic study, or even family, relationship, or whatever. Everything in life. That's why I share. I reach the pinnacle of my career, my cultivation, my academic and all those things. Then even in real life, they call it the life experiences, the life journey, career. I actually did very well. So all these are possible when you have the understanding. So you heard it from a song, yeah?
Yes, I heard it from a song, and then I mean the lyrics is in a sense very meaningful lah. So it gives you a source
in
of.
fact, Amy also liked the lyrics according to her. She said she heard before.
Yeah. So it is a very encouraging lyrics, that when people go through pain and suffering, right, in their life, by telling them this, it helps them that
severe,
to endure and overcome it with
and
determination. Yes. So
because
it helps a lot.
they will be very happy to be the tough one.
Yes.
I mean the tough one can really endure and deliver.
Yes, correct. So Brother, talking about the great being's nature, right? Lately I had made an additional vow, to my
good.
vow.
What was it?
I mean, my vow is not that difficult lah, but I realized that vow is I mean, I guess it connects with great beings lah, because this vow, I mean,
it must
a
be
very common
unique to you,
vow.
otherwise you won't put in as additional miscellaneous vow.
Yes, but this vow is very similar to all the great beings vow, I noticed.
Wow,
because
that's very good. Sadhu, what was it?
As I read I read one, I read this let me see, the Hu Xian Jing, the vows of right, so it and some other great beings vows, I cannot remember who lah, their vows are actually very same one, brother. This vow is very same one, this vow is very same one. It says that they will vow to appeal, and appeal means request all Buddhas, all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to actually to continue to expound the true Dhamma,
Oh, yeah, that one is Puja, yeah.
Yeah, so that they can liberate all sentient beings,
yeah.
To end all suffering. So this I think there's one more great being also have this, because there are so many great beings, Brother Teo. Then
correct,
I read
that's why the Puja Jing, it become a very famous chapter in the third. We have this Fa Hua San Bu Jing, or what they call the threefold Lotus Sutta. The first one we have completed, the Wu Liang Yi Jing, which is a sutra in numerous meaning. Then the second one we are now continuing, the Lotus Sutta, which is the Miao Fa Lian Hua Jing. Then the third one is Pu Xian Jing, about her 10 basic vow and all those things, and how she meditate. That's why all these miscellaneous vow that they do, they have a great contribution and impact on cultivator all the way on humanity as a whole. That's why he is called the universal virtue, Bodhisattva. Pujan. His another name is called universal virtue. His virtue is very universal one. So all her vow or his vow, they are related to all the great beings of Buddha of the 3 period of time. When he make one vow, it's to all the Sammasambuddha of the 3 period of time. Then when he invite, it's to all the Sammasambuddha of the 3 period of time. So he always want to invite them to share and to prolong the sasana and all those things, and to encourage the cultivator of the way who has the special nature to share, to come out and share. So all these are very beautiful miscellaneous vow. So for you, you also make that vow.
Yeah. I also had this vow, brother. I also make this vow, and then when I also read the Pu Xian Jing recently, that they he or she has this vow also. He has this vow also,
That's
and
why you can actually add them in on.
Yes.
And they are very meaningful. As you develop this miscellaneous vow, it will give rise to that type of very penetrative understanding of how all this miscellaneous vow can be evolved to make your cultivation unique and different. That's why when I look at all the other bodhisattvas vow, everyone I read, I understand what they are doing. Like Amitabha one is the Pure Land one. Then he got the 48 great vows. Then Xianhua, Guan Yin, Puxian, and many others. Then you can actually learn from them. Then normally for me is I will evolve my own. I will evolve my own. And what I evolve is normally based on what I understand, what I have developed and cultivated. Then, like this time around, because of what I evolve and do, Maitreya came. Maitreya know my way is one of the rare one that can accelerate the Bodhisattva way with that type of understanding. That's why the yellow card is the beginning of the what they call format. Then I realized that this type of format to teach people to take the vow is not well evolved yet. And most of them only choose the one started by Puxian one. All the opening verse one, you remember? When we take, we invoke, just as I read to you, then you understand. This one comes from Puxian. Just as all the previous Sugata, the Buddha generated the Bodhimaya of enlightenment and accomplished all the stages of Bodhisattva training so too will this nature of mind for the sake of all living beings generate the Bodhi mind. Now all this format is from Puja. So she invoked just as all the previous Sugata, means the Samasa Buddha from the past. The Buddha generated the Bodhi mind. Means they all generated the Bodhi mind of enlightenment and accomplished all of the stages of their Bodhisattva training. So too will our nature go forth and do the same. So these are all the format that has been like popularly accepted. But after that, silent no. They only have their individual vow, all the great beings vow, but there is no format to like specially ask for forgiveness, to develop the special understanding of the important cultivation, the right view and all things, so that life after life you come, you will have this understanding. All this I didn't really see. That's why after I came out with this yellow card, then only I realized this format, people can actually improve from it. That's why I put in all the additional vow, the miscellaneous vow, and also the asking for forgiveness, the development of the right view, then the 3 sets of pure precepts, all those things. Then the 5 stages of Bodhi mind development. That one all very important. Okay, good. You can summarize, Poh Cheng, because we have to end already. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Brother Teo have a very good structure for the Bodhisattva vows, whereby you
very
had the
simple,
basic,
but very comprehensive. Yeah.
yeah.
4 pages only, 1 yellow card.
Yeah. Because you have the comprehensive, like you said, the correct word, basic, then asking forgiveness, invoke the power of merits, and then the miscellaneous vows. But going back to this Pusian vows, right, about this appealing to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, right, to expound, share Dhamma, right. This one, for me, it's very important in the sense that because sentient beings, before we understand or go and learn the Dhamma, we really very heedless in that sense, unless you have already developed, activated your
without the
Bodhi
Buddha
mind,
Dhamma, the Buddha's teaching, actually living beings cannot come out of here.
Correct. So without the great beings to come out to teach and to guide us, through their nature, guide us, bless us, protect us, we are totally lost and heedless, Brother Teo. So having them, having this vow means a lot to me in the sense that, when we are still not connected, to our nature, we need their guidance, to protect us, especially
definitely. Even after you have cultivated very long, you still need their guidance, protection, and a blessing on. Because these are needed sometimes to help us to have the causes and conditions, to have the form and mind that is being protected. No, otherwise, like as a bodhisattva, let's say you come, when you cultivate, you don't have this protection from these great beings. Anything can happen, and your form and mind gone. Then you have to come again. It's going to take very long. But when they have this type of request and understanding, then their great beings' nature, especially those great beings like Kuan Yin, Bodhisattva, they have that power which is already developed within their vow as part of nature's law. That's why it will manifest. It will guide you, it will protect you, and it will bless you. And all this come as a package. That's why I realized these are very important understanding, and all cultivator of the Bodhisattva way must make this additional vow. Otherwise, not easy. This way is not easy. It's very extensive and it takes a very long period of cultivation. Very good. Sadhu.
Sadhu. Thank you, Brother Teo.
Thank you. Let's rejoice.
That's all today.
Sadhu. Okay, we will do the sharing of merits, then we will end. Akasata cha Bhumata Devanaga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Jirang Rakhantu Lokasasana Etta Wata Chamehi Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabbasampati Siddhya Idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idang menya tinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Devo satukalena sasa sampati heto cha vito bhavatu loko cha Raja Bhavatu Dhammiko Imena Punyang Kamena Mahame Bala Samagamo Sattang Samagamo Hotu Yawa Nivana Patiya Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, you can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Guanyin Bodhisattva, and the worthy ones. Then we end the whole Zoom session. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.